So it's been a little bit since I've played, so I'm going to do a little bit of questing organization because I have a separate playthrough going on my PS5 because I just want to play this game. It's very cool. So I'm going to try to keep track of what I need to do right now. I'm definitely going to sniff some speed. This is definitely on the to-do list. Okay. I can open the apartment door for Everard tonight after Kim leaves. And I also want to take the boots off of the body. Let me see if I can do that without Kim. Okay. Alright. Oh, it's not even close to time. Oh, it's daytime. I thought it was nighttime for some reason. And what day am I on? Am I on day 2? Day 3. Oh, am I on day 3? I'm on day 2? That's crazy. Absolutely nuts. Well, that means we can do some things. We can open the door for Everard. We can check out the apartment complex in general, too, which is a big deal. There's just so many things we can do. And we can do the field autopsy pretty easily. Do I have any skills? What have I got going on? Put stuff into authority, into rhetoric, into volition too. I got lots of things I want to do. Okay. First, let's save, as we like to do. Let's see what's going on with this guy. Okay, what exactly is a field autopsy? Why don't you know? What use are you? Who's the Copopedia? I think I need to talk to him. Do you have another pair of gloves? I have gardening gloves. Maybe they are enough. Cool. We just fill this in, right? Begin one. Harry Dubois. Coroner's case? No. I'm gonna ride 42. Race. Right male. What exactly is treatment? I'm not so sure. Didn't the footprints look like he was carried over? Oh shit, really? You can't hear the desktop audio? Damn, that's not good. Can you hear it now? Damn, I can't believe that was off. You can hear it now? Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath, ecclesiastic, religious in nature. A holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. Okay.
Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind
You still can't hear
Rosencrantz Road,
the
Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle.
So you
There is
still
darkness
can't
in
hear
the
it, Bash?
shed.
Let me check. Hold on. And you still can't hear the desktop. That's very frustrating. Hold on, let me check my stream. Dang, dude, everything was set up. Hold on. Very strange. Oh, it's on? Okay. Cool. Sweet. Just making sure. I'm sorry, dude. That's too bad. Yes, there we go, I can. Well, thank you for telling me that it wasn't working. I love you. Thank you for telling me.
Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette ball-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches to make sure she is dead more than anything else. The building is tall, 7 stories wind-wrapped in solitude. Most of the apartments are unoccupied. This was a suicide, the other an accident, the small one. And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today, 42 stations of breath.
We should start the post.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
Let's do it.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable.
Write it down.
The boots are ceramic. Vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a national pattern. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
Okay. Touch the corpse's hair before moving on.
His hair feels wet, soaked with rain, cold to touch. Not that different from a living person after a swim.
Stroke his hair gently.
The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to your hand, like thread off a ragdoll's head.
Nice. Write it down. Short, light brown, male pet and baldness. I'm gonna keep petting him.
More hair sticks to your hand. Hair off the rain-soaked head of a dead man. There are bumps and dips on the skull below. An alien landscape. There, dead man. You were someone's child. It's all over now.
There, baby.
The lieutenant watches you in silence.
That was some sick shit, psychopath.
Lividity is consistent
Poor
with
Kim.
hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs, consistent with stones thrown. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest,
Write
consistent
down.
with predation.
But amend for high velocity.
Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the bell so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that.
Oh
The chain
yeah,
cutters.
I'm prepared. Pet the chain cutters.
The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from his nose.
Good thing we got these chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now,
Yo, what's up?
we need to cut the bell to see the ligature mark below. Carefully.
Is that you
with as
using
much
Malachi's
precision
account
as you
player?
can.
See? My pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
Look for a good
The
spot
belt
to cut.
is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck.
I'm not your pig Kuno.
You are? You're Kuno's pig?
Fuck. No.
You jam the
God
cutters right
fucking
under
damn
the
it.
knot.
No.
That seems like a smart idea. Yeah, somewhere there. Already, they're buried deep in the man's flesh. Then you rotate them to get a better hold.
Fuckity
The
fuck.
lieutenant looks by, somewhat worried as you summon power words. A really bad smell is coming from there now.
Yeah, fuck him.
God damn
Told
it.
you my pig was hardcore.
I should have a go first. I think I have a strategy.
Let him work.
He sinks the cutters
God
into the
damn it.
knot, preparing to perform the cuts, with his elbow to his knee for precision. Yes, that's much better form than you had. Snap. The knot is slashed.
I'm trying to
Another
get my
cut,
headphones
and
to
the
work so I
belt
don't have to
falls
type to
apart
you.
like a
That's an
flower
option.
bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark
Could
around
be.
it.
It could be text to type. Some kind of. What kind of computer
Here.
does he have? If he has a Windows computer, I think he could do text to type for sure.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
As it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is gentlest, pulling up.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact. Genitalia.
No! It's gonna happen, see?
I fucking knew it.
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began.
I don't. Yeah,
The
maybe.
lieutenant
maybe
is
you
trying
can
to
get
make it as
work.
boring as possible.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
Inspect the
The
genitals.
dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of
Dropped in
blood.
pitches.
The testicles are uneven in length, hanging
draped.
underneath. The genitalia
You're
is
talking about your
greenish.
dogs?
Marbling is present around the crotch. You should touch it.
I'm not going to touch it. Does it look like he was enjoying his moment?
Ah,
of death?
yes, your hunch before. We can have a semen analysis requested from processing, if that's what you meant.
Yes, processing. Science. That's what I meant.
Just write down that we request an analysis.
The corpse with his pants down does not have an opinion on the subject. All he has is genitals and a deathly odor.
Write it down. Add semen
Back
sample.
is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat
The scarring
duty.
is extensive, way more than a law official's. Write it down.
Last item, hands.
Pick up the hand.
His flesh is cold, icy.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from? And what's your name?
My name
I'm
is-
only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name is Il Kobo. What can I do for you, Il Kobo di Cappadocia?
It's good to hold your hand. Did you like it when I stroked your hair?
I did, Kobo, I did. Reminded me of when I was just a small boy, before this happened to my face and my body. You did me a kindness there. We should do this more often. Be close like this. I mean,
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling.
Oh yeah, sorry. The dead man's fingers slipped from your hand, cold and sausage-like. No sign of injury from struggling. Were we expecting?
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment.
Working so close to the fumes coming from the corpse must be hard. You realize suddenly that the lieutenant has been barely keeping it together these past 2 items.
Write it down.
Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
Internal examination.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
If I may add, the moral of
What
the
would
story.
that be?
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
The brain is very vulnerable to compromises in its
I
blood
think that
supply.
may well be the moral of every story, officer.
All right, NA.
Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid
Poor
runs
Kim.
down his lips, black and viscous.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound.
Look inside
Mouth
the dead man's
swollen.
mouth.
Hemorrhage.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his.
Look deeper.
It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow, just to keep looking. Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness.
There are ancient mysteries down there, Kobo. Ask me later.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus.
Write it down.
Hepatobiliary. NA.
Why don't we have anything?
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
I don't think
Neither
so.
am I.
And that's it?
That's it. Same for toxicology and serology.
Both?
Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there.
The completionist in me wonders if there's something we could
We
still
already
do.
have one test as per regulation. And we already requested semen.
Pigs requested
Ooh,
semen
we
like
didn't
it's
play Witcher.
no big deal.
I'm not even interested in these boring mulkus anymore. I haven't sucked him off or anything.
Yeah, it's better to leave it at that. More important. Can we change it to toxicology? Seems
At a request, then. We'll know if drugs or poisons remain in his blood. At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with it. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging.
That's okay, dude. You can make as many jokes as you want.
Gastrointestinal. Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
I'm gonna keep the voila.
What's next on the list?
Description of injuries.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck.
What about
You'll
the
need 3
injuries
fills. Leave a
we
4th one too.
have inflicted?
Oh, so we inflicted them?
This is a team effort.
You mean the incision on the thorax from a chain cutter? That was not a team effort, and I wouldn't mention it. Muddies the water.
Isn't that sloppy?
Be pedantic if you like, it doesn't matter. No one else is going to investigate this man's murder. And if they do, Such details would only confuse them.
See? These pigs are fucking corrupt.
Why don't you fuck 'em if you love 'em so much?
Now, injuries.
Bite marks.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted. And your opinion, officer?
Non-fatal
Agreed.
postmortem.
Next injury.
Contusions.
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
The lieutenant's admission has caused great gratitude in Kuno. He is silent with it.
Right.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
Non-fatal postmortem.
Right. Next,
Ligature mark. What's the 4th injury field
nothing.
for?
Just in case.
Just in case. Finish the
A
autopsy.
dark red abraded ligature mark encircling
This
the
game
neck,
is so cool.
with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Write it down.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
Fatal injury.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned. But it's a start. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
How'd it go?
Well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy.
Damn, we're so close to the next level, too.
We requested a test to be run on the genitals. That was the règle. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks if we are lucky. I will not hold my breath.
What else?
We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
Oh yeah, well done, Master Detective. Maybe a drink is
Perhaps
in order.
a drink is in order.
Now, you see, that worries me. You will die if you drink. You know that, don't you? You are proving a useful detective. The organization would miss you.
Please get yourself together. The lieutenant from Precinct 57 thinks.
What now?
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg.
Anything for you, Mr.
For processing.
Kitsuragi?
He's thinking, did I miss something? You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse. I'm sure we didn't get everything.
I'm gonna leave for now. I have to get this. Let's see if there's anything that can increase our perception. We can do psyche. I believe perception. Ooh, perception is motorics. We need to use something to up that. So what do we got? Not that much, unfortunately. Ooh, can someone ban that person? Let's see. Ah, we have to get this one. Do I have any drugs that can help? No. Psyche. Nothing with motorics. I have to get this check. I refuse to miss it. It's perception. Okay, we're not missing it. I refuse. We'll do something else till we can get a level up. Because I have to get this check. Who's this guy?
The woman before you.
Thank you. Ooh, what's over here? Sweet. Take that magnesium. Gotta become a magnesium-based being. Let's do some more stuff. Oh yeah. Internalize. Golden Amadakwa. Authority. No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you bet keep walking.
White morning. No, I'm good right now. Okay. I'm gonna do some stuff in here.
Look at me when I'm talking to you.
Yeah. Thanks, Pash. Okay. Oh shit! I almost forgot about this stuff. So I'm gonna break into somebody's apartment. Ooh, what do you do? Take it. Take the money. Whomster use?
Hey, what's that
You
noise?
see a young man on a balcony nursing a cigarette. His
Not looking for any trouble, officer.
No trouble for me. Just want to know what's going on here.
I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie, if that's okay.
It's the god of cigarettes and youth. Ask him if he's got anything to spare. Don't let him go. This could be your witness. The balcony has a great view of the whole thing.
Actually, the gendarmerie really needs to talk to
Is
you.
it really that important?
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at the neighboring windows.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run.
Looks like you've got a good view of the Whirling's backyard. Can you tell me anything about the hanging?
I can tell that you finally got him down. Thank you. It was quite a disturbing sight, even by Martinet's standards.
What were you doing last Sunday?
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you?
Did you?
No, not you two. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
Last week? I don't know. Look.
A downy blanket of white to cover up the miserable poverty of the scene.
You didn't answer the question. What were you doing last Sunday?
I had a friend over.
What kind of friend?
It was my Sunday friend.
A Sunday friend. How intriguing.
What's your friend's real name? Did he see something?
He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. Under the grey sky, snow continues to pile on the neighboring windowsills.
Can you tell me your name?
My name? My name is Martin Martinez.
That's definitely not his real
You're not
name.
actually called Martin Martinez, are you?
No, of course not. Could you please lower your voice?
I need you to get help inside this apartment building. Can
Help
me?
you? No, sorry, gendarme. I have to run.
All right,
No.
we'll talk later.
We won't. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
Come on.
Time to
God
bring
damn it.
out your secret charm. Tears and begging. Show him your emotional side. Throw yourself before his very feet like a dog.
Do you want me to cry?
No, for God's sake, I don't want you to cry. Listen, I really have to go.
Ah, there it goes. Wasted. You would have gotten at least a few good drags out of it.
Good luck with the investigation.
Son of a bitch. There he goes. Hey, there's a Venus.
He's gone.
We should run after him, see where he went.
No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk
He-
to us,
he got
then
rid of the
he'll know how
smokes.
to hide himself.
So we just gave up?
He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, we need to look into that muscular type who's asking about our case. There has to be a way of getting inside the building. Once we found a way in, we can ask around for his apartment.
Let's do it. Oh, I can't do it right now. Take it all. Okay, what do we got here?
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and there's a knocker shaped like a lion's head. You try to be as silent as you can. It takes a bit of rattling of the handle to loosen the bolt. Finally, the door unlocks with a small clack. Thoughts race through your head. Good job. Let's go now. I'm sure there's nothing interesting in there. Only curiosity could account for stepping over that threshold. Maybe there's treasure in there. A white alligator. A fountain of quicksilver. As you hold the open door, you can feel the air moving. A little draft. A whistle.
I'm doing it. Okay. Ooh, baby. What do we got here? Take the magnesium. Small suitcase full of clothes. Guests are staying over? Book titled The Hidden World of Walking Sticks lies open. You can almost see the warmth of the red sun on the flag.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty.
What's with the sun?
This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold sun miracle.
What's the sevenfold sun miracle?
It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw.
That's
Happens
true.
in
There are
cold
lots of
weather.
albino alligators.
6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag.
Lieutenant, the old flag of the suzerain.
The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
By old-fashioned, he means very right-wing. The flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colorful fabric with a sun sewn onto it. Like all feudal flags, it looks like a children's drawing.
What do we got here? Take it. Alright.
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A broad-shouldered man shoveling potatoes, and others a little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. The images betray a lack of interest in human beings. They are merely unflattering caricatures.
What do I mean uncomfortable?
The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very much.
Typical asshole.
This person is unhappy. The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look of disdain.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
What about your yellow man mug and compare?
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The same humor, the same mocking lines.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash. And now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens, as they say.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically connecting to other clues down the road. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Do you think it's the same person who put the dead man's clothes in
Who
the
knows?
trash?
I'm not expecting too much from these clothes in the trash lead either way.
Move on from the mugs. Okay. Everything done in there, I think. What does my ledger do again? Can't remember. It's Inland Empire, empathy, okay. Logic. Conceptualization. That is how clues work. Let's see. I live my life the way of Blue's Clues. The teachings of the clues. Run, my man. Run, Harry.
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building. It's locked. This could be a way into the apartment building the smoking man vanished into. The door rattles against your knuckles, but there's no response. The door rattles again, but this time you hear an elderly woman's voice calling out from inside.
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside.
It's the police.
The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here.
I'm not joking.
No. I already told you. I won't be responsible for any more strangers getting into the building. Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
Backyard door. With the smoker. You already were there. Didn't work.
Are you there? I've checked the backyard, but couldn't get in that
Good.
way.
We had enough problems with bums and drunks and thieves loitering in the hallway.
Till they were real
Madame,
policemen.
I assure you, we are real police officers.
There is no reply. Just faint, sweeping sounds.
I gotta get rid of my my book. It'll make the chances better. Okay.
A sturdy. This could
Let
be
me
a
in.
way into the apartment building the smoking man. And you're well versed in the kind of threatening legalese that implies criminal liability, but in fact has no meaning whatsoever.
Am I?
Obviously, look at that vague yet threatening stuff spewing forth from your mouth.
Ma'am, your non-compliance is hindering a police matter. I may be forced to refer you for potential prosecution.
I know my rights, and don't you marm me, boy.
Miss, would it help if we offer to show you our badges?
Ah, it's like a carrot to the stick, sort of.
Hold your horses. I don't care about your stinking badge. Just come in.
Okay. Cool. Alright, let's talk to this old lady.
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my bronchitis.
Are you alright? Should I call a doctor?
I'm fine. Fine. Don't you worry about me.
You're still worried. It's very worrying.
Now, what do you want from me, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
I'm looking for the parents of a kid named Kuno.
The waiters are at the end of this hallway, right next to the communal bathroom.
I'm looking for a young male in his mid-20s, dark hair, skinny build, a smoker on the balcony.
Yes. I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right?
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone taking a shower.
What's he in trouble for?
No trouble. I just want to talk to him. Do you know where he lives?
Talk?
What was so funny about that?
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there. He's usually home in the evening.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home.
Who are you?
I'm no one. Just an old woman who cleans these hallways.
Do you live here?
If you can call it living. I have a little room upstairs right next to the coal room. It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain, no. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me company. And that's all I need from this world.
And all she gets, too. The coastal wind beats down hard on the coal room door outside. Splashes of waves make the balcony slippery. She hasn't spoken to anyone for a while. Even her sentences feel rusty.
Thanks, I'm off. Note reads foreclosed by Martinez Realty Associates. Okay.
A shift in temperature. The air chills around you.
Rub your sides
Dust
for a moment.
settles on the stony floor. A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling down to minus 20 degrees Celsius.
Ground.
It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged stool in the middle of the room. She had an eye for beauty.
Her face.
Is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression.
Plan.
Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment.
Finish the thought. Ooh. What we got here? Someone has torn down the wall. Old grocery list on the table. Ooh, take that money. Apartment 8. Graffito says a firing squad for the rich. Door number 9 is locked. Oh, give me that. Boogie Street. Having fun taking all this mud.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The walking stops abruptly, but no one comes to the door. You can feel tension on the other side. A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
This is the police. Open up. Do I have to open the door? You hear the clacking of heels again as the other side walks up right to the door. Her tone is now getting a defensive edge. Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
Okay.
You hear someone.
It says I've got a thought. Nothing's happening.
You hear someone.
Very weird.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, number 11. No reply. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would make short work of it. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise.
Okay. We can do our interfacing with our gloves. What else? Okay. Get those chain cutters. Ooh, I can't wait to get that alcohol. Let's save. Can always scum it.
This door has been closed with a padlock. The shackle snaps like a twig,
Fucking working.
and the lock falls to the floor with a little
This is my
thud.
first check that I
It
passed.
should be possible to enter now.
Oh no, I did pass the
After you,
the one
detective.
to get inside the apartment building too. Okay.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kraz Mazov. Honestly, he does kind of look like you after all.
Father Masov, the hero of the working class.
Whoever lives here definitely shares your enthusiasm. There aren't many communists around. Not
You have
after
to
the
admit,
revolution.
This
Some youths
Krasmazov.
still keep the ideology going, it seems.
Kim, you have to admit, this Krasmazov bears a
Hold
striking
on a
resemblance to
second.
me.
Is this why you broke in here? To find out whether you're Krasmazov?
I'm not saying I am Krasmazov. I'm just saying we look alike.
Sure you are.
Just humor me for a moment. Don't you see the resemblance?
Well, you both do seem to share an affinity for sideburns. But it seems like old Kras here didn't drink nearly as much as you.
How do you know? This bust is probably just a romanticized depiction anyway.
Very well. Let's look for identifying features then. Doesn't he have a birthmark right here? What about you?
I can't tell. I can't see my face.
Alright, but here's the big thing. Krasmazov looks Samaran, and you don't.
I'm part Samaran myself.
Okay, you win. Be Krasmazov then. I don't care. Why are you so hell-bent on proving that you're Krasmazov anyway?
He was a total gangster and a bank robber who went for all cash in the world. That's me. Because I have a powerful nation state. I believe a powerful nation state is the only way to protect the working class from subhumans. No. I'm a communist.
Alright, Kras. You fought in the revolution and everything, if you say so.
Why does this tenant have a bust of Krasmazov on
The
it?
White Star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting.
I love that he just doesn't care. Okay, I need to put stuff into perception, I'm pretty sure. What else we got? Can I think about it? Bad PR. Something you can't get out of your head. Krasmazov, the father of scientific communism, premier of the Communist Party of Shesht and Grad during the anticentennial revolution, head of the 11-day government, sideburn-toting, bearded figurehead of the movement, shot himself in the mouth and died one day in his cabinet. All things were collapsing around him, just gave up. That's not good propaganda, is it? Be a communist, shoot yourself in the mouth. Something about this irks you. Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's try it out. Ooh. Revolutionaries love to pose with their guns. Flamboyant poster of White Star. Ooh, what's in here? A goddamn bullet. Hell yeah. Temple would be faster. Okay. Ooh, this is cool. Okay. So many clothes. Oh, I do have to check in here, though. I love me some glasses. What's in here? More stuff. I love it. I love finding dollars and cents. You know me. Okay. Let's get ready to break down this door. Probably.
A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges, secured to the doorframe with a safety chain. An unpaid energy bill is attached, threatening to cut off the electricity. It's addressed to Mr. Uno Dorota. Your heartbeat quickens. Palms go sweaty. The siren of amphetamine is singing you her song.
It's like we found where Kuno's dad lives.
And the place comes with 3 months' worth of utility bills.
No response. Good thing you already have the chain cutters in your hand. Nothing left to do now but snip, snip, snip.
Hell yeah.
The cutter goes through them like dead leaves. The links fall to the ground on the other side of the door.
I know there's no stopping you, but let's at least make this quick.
Hell yeah. What we got here? Take it.
A phone book lies open on the table, covering a stack of utility bills. Right next to it, in plain sight, sits a small bottle of amphetamine, conveniently equipped with a straw. Score! It's right there, baby. Today's your lucky day.
Lieutenant, I've located psychoactive substances on this table.
Good. Confiscate it.
The minuscule amount of amphetamine doesn't interest the lieutenant in the slightest. He listens instead to something in the other room. You pocket the bottle as if it were the most natural thing in the world. Don't wait. Celebrate. Blast that shit right here. Take inventory of it once this boring table shit is done. A bundle of clothes heaped on the bed. A stained parka. Some towels and a duvet. Some socks even.
Hold, Lieutenant. Look at that pile of clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly reach out
Something
your hand.
underneath there is breathing. It's not too late. No one's going to blame you for backing out. You don't have to do this.
Keep extending
Just
your hand
get
towards
out.
the pile.
Your hand touches a greasy duvet covered in cigarette burns and ketchup stains. You hear a growl. There is something alive underneath it.
Pull the blanket
You
off.
see a 60-year-old, fat, red-headed man passed out from large amounts of alcohol. And God knows what else. The smell of shit rises from his mouth. You don't have to take him down. He's already down.
I took your amphetamine, old man.
Silence. Only heat emanates from the sleeping body. He wouldn't be too thrilled to learn you stole his stash. It was the last thing keeping him functional.
Maybe we should help him somehow.
What is there to do? We could turn him on his side so he doesn't choke on his own vomit, but he's already on his side.
Excellent form.
We could take him to Remedy or Saint-Baptiste, but he doesn't have money for medical services. The arms house would turn him down. They don't do charity for people who are trying to kill themselves. Besides, he'd be dead in a few.
The pile of blankets grunts miserably.
Is this Kuno's father we're seeing?
Well, judging by the color of his hair, I would say yes, it is.
The lieutenant's right. The man's unwashed hair bears a familiar ginger tone. Even the hair on his chest is coppery. The light from the window falls into his half-open eyes.
Doesn't look like he's gonna fuck anyone up anytime soon.
No, it really doesn't. This looks very hard to recover from. This man won't be feeding his family anytime soon. Not that he was, but at least he won't be beating his son.
A pair of half-open bug eyes is staring back at you from the dark, empty, and frozen. It's clear that the person behind them is not awake.
Hold on, what happened to his eyes? Hey!
Can't you tell? It happens to exceptionally committed substance abusers. They fall asleep with their eyelids still open. Not a pretty sight.
This is still serious damage. I'm not sure he's not dead. My baby!
Look, he's trying to communicate.
Is this thing even alive?
I'm afraid it is. Look, it moves.
What's up? What's up, Ava? Hey.
A groan rises from the man's throat, dry like a death rattle.
Let's see if we can get this perception check. I'd like to. Claire says, hi, Ava. Ooh, I'm gonna take his pants. It's the baby. Oh, let me see. There you go. That's a baby. That's the baby.
Hello.
Alright, back to Vidget game. She's sweet baby. What do we got here? Ooh, I can't wait to take this speed. Composure. Why wouldn't it let me? Oh, there we go. Party like it's 1989. Logic. -1 authority. Yeah, I got a cool jacket. Who cares? My jacket's already neat. Now let's do it one more time. What do the pants do that these ones don't? Oh yeah, -1 sub-warfare. Composure's fine.
The aging alcoholic is still there. The man groans once again, but his tongue keeps failing him. It's impossible to make out the syllables. A hand emerges from the blankets, trying to gesticulate something.
Yeah, I don't think that's a choice, Claire.
And then it dawns upon you, clear and surreal. Pigs. He says he's trying to call you pigs.
What'd you just
His
say?
hand falls back on the bed, limp and defeated. A loud snore escapes his mouth. He's asleep again.
At least he got to say his piece.
Damn, dude. See ya!
Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you?
It's my duty as a cop to investigate every square inch of this world.
Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently for you to uncover them.
The Jamrock Shuffle. Ooh. Dang. Confusing behavior. Dang, dude. I want to do that one. What do we get? These shoes come in 3 different sizes. Let's see what's on this balcony. Breaker box full of cigarettes. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. Go back. Get what's in that jar, bud. Get that 15 cents. Hustle. Just a door. Nothing for you.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone here really values their security. Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said the smoker on the balcony lives.
Let's see if anyone's home.
No one answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening. We should return tomorrow after we have finished with our day's work.
Sounds
How
good.
about 9 p.m.? Sound good?
What do you mean?
The smoker on the balcony. This is why we're here, right? He might know something about the murder.
Suddenly, he's a little worried about your memory. Don't worry. It's mostly all still here. You can remember things. You got
You can
this.
definitely do that. You can kick down some doors.
Tomorrow, 9 p.m., right here. Apartment number 28. Good, let's go.
Damn. Turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. Don't worry. You'll get him. Remember, tomorrow. He's probably gone for today.
Alright. Hey, what's this? Complete silence. Whoever lives here isn't home. Voices from within, singing along to some buoyant dance track. Yeah, right? You can definitely be that kind of cop in this game. And there are benefits, you know, pros and cons to doing it that way. I mean, I knock down lots of doors, but I try to be a different kind of cop for sure. I won't say a good one, just a chaotic one. Ooh, I love seeing boxes. That box has my name on it. Above, tarps flap in the wind, forgotten hammers and nails rust. No, we do not. We do not want to be like regular cops. What's in here? You know, possibly. Take the money. Take the pants. Ooh. Hey. Some good old pants. Nah, I like these pants better. Regular black jeans. I'm a jeans cop now. Enough cold lasts for several winters. Smells of chemicals. Ooh, give me that Pyrrolidon. Oh, baby. I love me some drugs. The girl outside sleeping here, maybe? Clothes for the devil. In this game, they give you bonuses. So you can pass certain checks. Just with your clothes alone. The clothes make the man, they say. What you got? What you got to say?
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue d'Esperance. You wait and see.
The streets will not flow red with anything.
Just like
Who
HPD.
are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
Okay. Let's start with your blood type and go from there.
Go where? Accosting a minor?
Listen to your partner, pigman. Keep your grubby hooves off little old ladies.
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint. It's heavy fuel oil.
It's a heavy fuel oil?
Red-dyed heavy fuel oil, intended for exclusive use in government vehicles, to be precise.
What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself. Back in Jamrock.
She really did it. She's proud of it too.
You better hand it over.
Oh, what? You'll push me off this ledge and pry the bucket from my dead hands?
What are you doing to the wall?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
So you don't know what to write?
Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home, and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cards. And my name's not Mona, so...
She wants it to be something true and total.
Why are you so committed to defacing the building?
This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can fire to break up the tedium. I thought I'd mix it up, you know, summon the forces of crime and social chaos with a wall-sized invitation.
I have an opinion on this. Want to hear it?
Yeah?
I love public art. Don't mind us. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
You've lessened her desire to deface the building.
Do you know anything about the recent murder?
I ain't no snitch, Pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Keep looking off to the side. What are you looking at?
She nods disdainfully toward the woman performing maintenance on the boat docked next to the pier. Hatred, disgust, it's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That Ozon whore. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershaw. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely have reason to visit Martinez.
Who is she?
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to Ozon.
Is that bed in the coal room yours?
Ooh. Not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner.
It's not the nicest place, but I guess it'll have to
It
do.
doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now, I'm doing nothing at all.
Don't you have a real home?
Does anyone in a city like this?
If there's pain about any particular home she's lost, she's buried it deep, fortified herself against it.
Really? You're a miner?
Yes. I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me, but somehow it never happens.
Cool, I have other questions.
Shoot, Piggy.
I found some
It's
drugs
what
in the
you
coal
do,
room.
isn't
Yours?
it? They just might be. Rough stuff. If you take the ride, you'd be wise to buckle your little pig belly up.
Her neurons must be on fire, the heat creating waves and ripples in all she sees. Above all, in her painting.
Does it make you see everything all art-like?
You really think I need to be high to see the world as art? Poor unimaginative piggy. How I wouldn't want to have your peepers.
To hell with the art part, man. It's all about the high anyway.
Catch you later,
Watch
Cindy.
your back, ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
Ungulate. Awesome. That's just a piggy with extra steps. Alright. Let's talk to that Wild Pines rep. Get some experience. Maybe we can make that check after leveling up our perception. We will see what happens. I'd like to have pretty high perception. There's some useful checks we can get with that. Ooh, what you got? Docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint Ghislaine, 33A. Okay. Your room in the Whirling isn't much bigger than this sloop. This is worth more than you'll ever earn in your life.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
What does the L stand
Binton,
for?
my maiden name.
What gave us away?
Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Relax. She meant it in jest.
Shake her
I'm
hand.
glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will. Gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
You're on a boat?
Why, yes I am.
Oh, disco's so good. Not a lot of people on boats, are there?
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
Wait, we're on an archipelago?
Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
Still, I haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around here.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
Does she have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cor de Leyte 19, because that's the type of sloop it is.
But what kind of boat is it?
It's a pleasure craft. A 19-pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
How you like
My
it?
sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Do you have a license for this boat?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Qualified pleasure craft operator. So charming. Where's the damn license?
Can I see your license?
I just renewed its safety inspection last month, officers. It is completely seaworthy. In fact, it's taken part in not one, but two Insulindic regattas.
What happened the other
Even
time?
The other time, I would have finished the race were it not for an urgent work matter, much like the one I'm on now.
Still need to see a license, man.
Actually, you don't.
Pretty sure I do. I police.
It is a little known fact among those who police that the Wayfarer Act specifically denies the RCM the authority to demand anyone's operator license.
How little known is this
I
fact?
was just being polite. Even school children know the Wayfarer Act.
More like the Anarchy Act, in my opinion. Makes sense, I guess. I mean, look at me.
No need to resort to self-pity, detective. You can still ask for her passport.
Yes, I'm going to need to see your passport.
Of course.
Look at her
The
passport.
woman is silent, smiling while the waves lap against the hull. In your hand, under the plastic, a light blue passport saying, Republic of Vespa. The coat of arms has a lion and an ostrich. Seigent, the Republic of Vespa, formerly the Republic of Vespa Messina, was once a dual kingdom. An amicable parting of ways produced two constitutional monarchies. Vespa, the richer of the two, is an occidental nation known for its proximity to the Pale and its exotic financial derivatives.
Anything else?
It is a stable country, and yet there has always been something ominous about its perfect stability. It's a place at the edge of the Mwindi East. The woman,
shit.
born in the year 3 in the commune of Revachol, smiles at you, face adorned with frown lines and crow's feet. The photo is recent. The
Your
name
name?
reads Rejoice Leighton Messier.
Your name is Rejoice?
Yes. But please don't call me that.
Why?
Joyce is much more efficient.
She doesn't like it. Probably a bad memory. Mean girls at school or some ancient lover.
You're from the Republic of Vesper.
My husband is. I have dual citizenship. A Vespertine is handier when traveling.
Everything appears to be in order.
She nods and returns the plastic bag to her
I think I
coat.
have a handle on the boat thing.
Good.
Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
Say what? They're in that bathroom. So what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things, and that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain.
Who are the other Indo-tribes?
Son Baptiste, LUM, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star.
You're in good company, it seems.
Why, thank you.
How much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
A billion?
What exactly is a billion?
It's a number, officer. A big one.
What's it made of?
It's made of 1,000 millions. A million is made of 1,000 thousands.
Wow.
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments. A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility.
Where does Wild Pines get all these billions?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantanga on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
Probably helps to start out with the royal monopoly.
You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed or been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines had to grow and adapt. No suzerain did that.
What does such a huge system want with a place like this?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
You don't keep it moving. The workers do. The company's nothing without them.
We built this district. All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions. The plazas Meteor and Mosaic. Even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to the investments from the WP. Before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbour, even before it was part of Revachol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines built it as a resort for its Revacholian employees. A company getaway, for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. But that's another matter. I'm here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
What can you tell me about the strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
What if I want to hear about trade secrets?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
How do I repeal it then?
Why? By throwing off half a century of foreign domination under the Coalition. Unfortunately for you, the Coalition also leases you the right to police West Revachol. But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
What's your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Oh, you mean Measurehead?
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
How were the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February.
Hello.
The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
What happened to this Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Not cool.
Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the Union.
What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
I like it.
Then you might also like their other slogan. Demand democracy.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Personally, I don't think it has the same pizzazzo as every worker, a member of the board.
What exactly do they mean by it, though? What's the demand?
It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about what, about anything really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
The king is dead. Long live the workers.
That may well be. It's not up to me to decide who is king, but as negotiations go, it's not a swell start.
What are you gonna do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
The scabs at the gate. Did you put them there?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the Union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
What do you think of Everard?
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
He's not that bad.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
I remember hearing something about this Edgar.
Have you seen him?
No.
Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does. And when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the Union itself, outside the Brothers Clare?
The Debardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
A mob. The Debardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we are forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, Detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Debardeurs Union is...
an effective advocate for the rights of local working men.
Why do you think so?
Between Everard the Human Leech and Measurehead, this union sounds like a motley crew. I'm into it. Sounds like they're all Revachol. I'm all Revachol too, to hell with the rest. They're good labor men. Can't fault them for a little corruption.
Ha! A real man of the left. What else can I tell you about?
One more thing. You said something happened in the elections.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Eerie.
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a Union matter. The point of the presentation is, These kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
That's all I need here. Let's change
Of
the
course.
topic.
How else can I help?
I've talked to Everard
You
before.
have? And how did you like Mr. Clare?
Finally, time to choose sides.
It's not important if I liked him. I was doing my job.
Of course, Detective. Excuse me for implying otherwise.
The
I am
RCM does
drinking
not pick
coffee.
sides in this. I hope it doesn't come off any other way.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share
Whoa.
anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt verm myself. How could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things. Tell her she'll like you for it.
I helped him turn up the heat on the borscht.
Did you now? What sort of borscht is he making?
Not important.
You're right, Detective. That whole undertaking was very unimportant. Why did we do it?
An act born of sympathy for the working man. I set fire to the fumes of struggle.
Very curious. A very curious thing to do.
Truly. But that's how he operates. He just does things, man. And then talks about them, even if it's inappropriate.
A strange equanimity has overtaken the lieutenant. He's just going with the flow now. Easier that way.
What else?
Yeah, dude, I'm always drinking coffee. Mr. Everett's helping me find my gun? Fuck it.
Oh. That's so helpful of him.
The lieutenant looks at you,
I love
and
you,
you can
Cam.
swear his jaw muscle is trembling. He's able to contain the anger and surprise. When I said be wacky, I didn't mean wildly, grossly irresponsible and damaging to the RCM.
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people
I'm
about it
unconventional.
to gauge their reactions. It's all part of detecting.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun?
He's helping me find my gun.
Yes. As you said.
Please don't get him in a loop. If he gets in a loop, it will last forever. Ask him to say something else, please.
Of course. Thank you for the advice. I'm glad you are here to assist. Your other dealings with Everard are still of considerable interest to me.
The lieutenant will be more lenient toward sharing those, hopefully.
I'd rather talk about something else for now.
Of course, Detective. Should something come up later, down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
What can you tell me about this lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
The dogs have been searching for me.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am
I wish
Lieutenant
I
Pitsuragi from Precinct
could not
57.
disappoint them, but I'm not in your house.
And this is my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective
Can't
Dubois.
hang out with your dogs.
I'm
Sorry.
afraid Harry doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
Oh, and what happened to yours, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Remember when my partner told you I'd recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
It's possible after a night of heavy drinking, I lost all memory of my life in the world.
Oh dear. I suppose this does explain some of the more curious turns in our conversation.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Yeah,
She's a
I'm excited
professional
for when she's
negotiator.
able to.
She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Can I suggest? I don't want to waste it. Damn it. How did I get here? I asked her about. Can you tell me about the lynching? Let's try it. I'll find it somehow. Let's talk about something else until
Of
I do.
course. But before we do, officers, let me be perfectly clear. The situation is extremely volatile. The sooner we can speak about this lynching business, the better for all of us. Of course, Detective.
I'm gonna save and see if I can suggest to her. It's about an even.
You're back. I'm
It's like
afraid
nice
I
and
can't say any more until we've taken...
She's a
Hell yeah.
negotiator. Just float a favor at her. Insinuate.
Surely there's some other way to demonstrate our law enforcement credentials.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Like what?
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones, or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Excuse us for a moment, madam. What's up, buddy?
This is not going quite as I hoped it would.
How'd you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman.
I thought it was going so well.
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
What do you propose? That we don't investigate the drug trafficking?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her.
I'm sorry
We
for
tell
putting
her
us
it's
in this
done
situation.
and demand for her
I'll handle
information on the lynching. I'm sure you will, Detective.
We could just find my badge.
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters. You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months.
Let's get back to her.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Okay, tell me about this alleged drug trafficking.
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Shit, yeah, baby. It's the party pipeline. Why would you want to shut that down?
Why are you trying to shut down the party pipeline?
I assure you, officer, these are not the sort of parties you'd want to attend.
She has no idea what kind of parties you've been to.
So the materials come from Samara to Revachol through the terminal?
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut.
And you want us to investigate?
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrart and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
What do you mean?
The lorries. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they are vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment. I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
We already have some suspicions that one of the drivers was present at the lynching.
Two might even be connected.
Or not. Though, if you have evidence to the contrary, I'm eager to hear it.
As eager as I am to share it, Lieutenant, once the job is done.
What proof do you have that the Union is involved?
How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves.
It's your alarm, huh? It stopped.
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open
Say
up to
what?
you.
Oh my god. Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier?
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers.
It's no coincidence lorries are stranded there like that, is it?
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However, this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant
What'd you do?
Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
That's great. I've made up my mind about investigating.
Yes?
I'll do it!
Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
Do you know something about these tattoos?
That's the man who was killed.
So you
I'm
do
afraid
know
this
something.
is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the forestay to the backstay on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
You seem smart. I need someone to give me a lowdown on this reality
Yes.
we're in.
Reality?
It's related to the medical episode. I have trouble remembering even the most basic terms of reality.
Ah, yes. The episode. Sounds like an acute case of encephalopathy, now that I think of it.
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of reality.
We may be here a while then. Ask away, officer. I'll help however I can.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
Where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Baby?
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
I'm a disco holdover myself.
Aren't we all?
What is Martinez?
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even.
Tell me
Shelled
more
to
about
smithereens during the
Martinez.
Revolution. I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has
Just
changed.
shining the flashlight right in her face, I just
The
realized.
ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders. As I told you, Martinez used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its part. Now the reeds are the real star of the show here. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
You mentioned a sea. What sea is this?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Are we near the ocean?
Yes. We're on an island in an ocean, the world's largest body of water, the Insulindic.
Known to the early Revacholians as Les Immensités Bleues, the blue immensities, vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
What's the name of this island?
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the River Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her and to humanity at large.
Okay, that's Martinez. What's Revachol?
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city.
And what kind of city is Revachol?
Great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond patriotism, a fact.
What makes Revachol great?
History detective. They built this city to resolve history.
Who built it?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed.
And when was Revachol built?
In the DeLorean century. 380 years ago.
Why will it resolve history?
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men.
Why here?
We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
So we're on the periphery, basically. Nobody's.
Speak for yourself, officer. I'm well known in certain parts. As to the place, you're right. We are 22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition. Only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
Observe the large body of water swelling cold.
She observes your eyes scanning the horizon, then breaks the silence. Slowly, this is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Messier will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
I'll continue later.
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
Okay.
Glad
That's
to
all
have
for
been
now.
of assistance. The little that.
All right. That was something. Ooh. What are you? Hell yeah.
There. Working class drunk. You know what this means,
Case
right?
solved.
Cracked it. All in a good day's work.
What did I crack?
What do you mean, what did I crack?
It's her husband.
Look at how working class that drunk is.
The missing husband.
Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class woman. Protect and serve, recruit.
Give me champagne, I'm going in.
There's no need for champagne when there's
What you
honor,
looking for?
recruit. Go
My
and tell
phone.
the working class
Oh, yeah, sure.
woman what you found
Yes, sir.
right now.
Let's talk to her. Protect and serve, madam. I found your husband.
God damn it, I already told you. My husband isn't missing.
But you said you didn't know where he was.
And I specifically added that I didn't need to know where he was.
Well, I found him nevertheless. I'm that
Very
good.
well then. Where is he?
Right around the corner. He's pissed himself. Our hammer-toting comrade was at the bottom of those stairs.
Excuse me? I don't follow.
There's something else hiding in her voice, though. A trace of
I
wine.
found a working class drunk and I thought he might be yours.
Right, 'cause working class women come with alcoholic husbands. You know what?
I'm not saying what. What?
You were right. I do have an alcoholic husband.
Aw.
Although not that one.
Ah, Blam. Knew it.
So is he missing as well?
No, he's not. Or maybe he is, I don't know. He's probably in the park or in Shamrock somewhere, drinking with his friends. I haven't seen him for... Well, to hell with him.
There. She's worried now.
Kim, is it just me or do we have a missing persons case here?
I wouldn't be so sure. Man, just to be completely clear, do you want to report it to the police?
Report what? He's just out drinking with his friends. I'm sure the police has better things to do than to chase down local goofballs.
Not at all. The RCM is ready to chase down every goofball in town. We care about you.
She sighs, but you can detect a slight hint of gratitude and relief from her face.
All right, go ahead. Do you have any questions?
What does your husband look like?
Honestly, not that different from you.
So let me guess, he's disco.
Oh, thank God, no. It hasn't come down to this yet.
Why'd you say your husband resembles me?
Well, he's slightly chubby.
Wait, did she just imply that you're fat? You're not fat. The body type she's referring to is called a Franco-Nigerian hard body.
I'm not chubby, and neither is your husband. What you meant to say is that we both share a Franco-Nigerian hard body.
You both share what?
Franco-Nigerian hard body? Softly round, yet still in shape. Ladies dig it.
I'm not sure about the rest, but softly round sounds about right. He's not in great shape. What else? He was wearing a dark brown leather jacket with a bright blue inner lining. It's his cool jacket. God knows it's too cold to run around in this, but he refuses to change.
Who cares about the cold when you have your cool jacket to wear?
I get it.
You can completely sympathize.
I even tried throwing it away once, but he just dug it out of the bin. Can you believe it?
If the jacket's that cool, I can totally understand.
Well, what can you do? I hope that at least that extra lining helps him keep warm at night. I wouldn't like him to catch cold.
She's thinking about him out in the cold, in some park, or on the coast. And
you
it's
last see
making her
him?
more and more worried.
Yesterday morning, he went to the library. He went to retrieve my book, and he promised he'd walk straight back home. Because we talked about this. We talked about not wandering off again. I don't know what to do. I honestly don't know what to do with his addiction. Just makes me feel weak.
Gone for around 36 hours then. Damn, this is a missing persons case. She turns away from you in an attempt to recover.
I think I got it, thanks.
So you are going to look for him.
I'll bring him home back to you.
Thank you. Please do. Even though I'm sure he will return home by himself. I'm still sure of that.
I'm sure he will too. When he does, would you let Precinct 57, Kim Kitsuragi, know?
I will. Of course, officer.
Let's talk
Is
about
that
your
right?
husband again. Now
She
we're
gives
good.
you a shh.
Alright. I want to go check on that freezer. Because I took the wire out. I'm going to talk to Everart. Maybe the Lorries. See what else I can do.